Welcome back to Universal Journey Talk, part 3 of Episode 5. So, that happened, but now I do believe that we are at, a technical level now, a technological level now, where, we do have nuclear capabilities and stuff, and this stuff is like, it's no joke. Because from what I read, at least in the Sumerian text, that that's what the Anunnaki and other, alien forms or extraterrestrials were using back then. Doesn't say anything much more powerful than that. So, in other words, what I'm saying is we're at a level now where essentially it would be problematic and much harder for an alien race just to show up. In other words, what I'm saying is, and there's billions and billions of us now compared to thousands and thousands of years ago when our population was a lot less. So there's so many more of us, including with our technological abilities. I believe that this is what I believe. I believe if there is going to be some, it's there's like a general feeling where most people are kind of getting the feeling like aliens are going to come around soon. Like, we don't know if it's going to be in our lifetime. Could be, could not, but it just seems like we're on the verge of this or something. But what I'm saying is, I think that they actually have to be careful now because we are, we've, now, like I said, with our technological abilities, we can fight them back pretty effectively. Now, that's I'm just making that a jump in the air because we don't know. Maybe they'll have technologies that could just wipe us out in a day.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
I don't know. I don't know. But I just find it interesting that because if they could, then why don't they? You see what I'm saying?
But why would they have to?
Well,
why would they want to right now?
Well, for instance, because
they're watching us through a process of evolving. The idea is not to intervene.
But they already did. As far as goes the Sumerian text, they not only intervened, they actually genetically changed us. So they did a lot of intervening. I mean, they came in and literally changed our evolutionary, track and did whatever they did for their personal means. So what I'm saying is they certainly landed. They certainly did. They were certainly involved a lot. And so they weren't just hiding out in the background. And I believe it was because there was nothing that we could do about it. We were so, we were just, very, primitive. So they were gods to us. Now
I think
it's a little different. What's that?
I think people go, well, if they made us, why aren't they here? Why don't they come back? Like that'd be like kind of when people like, well, I believe God exists, or they believe in a sense that God's like a man, or he's up in the clouds and he just sits up there and just judges us all day. Like, to me, that's so elementary that it's almost like you think the almighty supreme being that created this planet and the universe, and he just sits in clouds and he just watches what we're doing all day. That would be the most pathetic thing that any God could ever do. That would actually be that'd be a shame to think that's God and he that like that'd be like a part-time job. He just sits in clouds and he judges people. To me, that's like the same thing with aliens. Like if they spliced our DNA and did whatever they did, and I believe that there's truth to all that. But if they've been here thousands and thousands of years doing this for human beings, then when they leave, why would they come rushing back? Like they're not so linear like we are. So they could be gone for 300,000 years, and that's really not that long. They were gone, as far as I can say, they only been gone maybe for a few months because they already got us set up and been here for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of hundreds and thousands of years. You know what I mean? Or longer. So to be like, oh, because in the past 60, 50, 40, 30 years that each human being has that been on this planet and in their little lifetime think that aliens should come down within their lifetime, or they should have look. I mean, our country isn't even older than really 300 years. It's not that old. So it's like. First, I believe, regardless, aliens are already here. They've been working with governments and things. Like, this isn't anything new to many other, theories or, you want to look at it, um, astronaut theories. But going ahead, like you could see even like all right, was it like a couple months ago? Was it the Israeli general, um, or one of them like before he died or whatever was on his deathbed or something like that. I'm not sure. Can't remember the whole story. But he admitted that there's aliens. They've been working with the government for years, and that there were bases on Mars, on the moon. And my thing is, this guy, like these guys are, they're credible people. You know what I mean? That to just go on and say things that that are just bizarre and just to ruin their reputation. Like, what would they even get out of that? You know what I mean? And this goes on. You got one of the greatest Air Force pilots, Byrd. I'm trying to think. What's his name? Was it Dennis Byrd? But
no idea.
yeah. Well, anyway, but highly respected, like the greatest pilot ever. And he was saying how how he flew into the center of the Earth, or like Antarctica, and it's a big story.
Yeah, I heard about that. Right, a little bit. Yeah.
And he was saying how there's continents the size of North America and beyond. Like, this. There's so much things that like to say that everybody's just making something up. Or my thing would even be like Area 51. To say like aliens came down. All right, when they said originally the Air Force they made their well, after that crash, they said that yes, they were aliens, and then like 4 days later, they changed that and like, oh no, you know what I mean? Retract that statement and said it was like a balloon or some experiment,
right?
Test and doing. Now sometimes, and then okay, and even then, this is what I'm saying. Like, okay, fine. After they retracted, like, why would what if it wasn't aliens? Why would that be the first thing you say? It wasn't. And then 4 days later, go, oh wait, we realized it wasn't. Like, it took you that long to figure out if that's an alien or it was some balloons that you were experimenting before. To me, that's just common sense. You know what I mean? Like, or how stupid do you think the public would be? But then, don't get me wrong. Sometimes the public really can be really, really stupid. And I'm not saying how they do get this off, because people will still say, oh, I doubt it. But my thing is, well, check this out. After that supposed crash in Area 51 that supposedly meant nothing, right? It was just experiments they were doing, whatever, with the balloons or whatever. Why is it anyone that's like within like 6, 7, 8 miles of that place? Now it's like, I mean, it's just you are not to go anywhere near that place. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's
right.
interesting. Up until then, Area 51 wasn't even anything. No one was even thinking of that place. Now, the minute after that crash, now there's military in and out of there. And theories, they say that they still work with the aliens now. That's why we got most of our technology in the first place. That's what when they were talking about Hitler. Hitler was getting all his and searching for so much ancient artifacts and things. He was looking for the Ark, the Holy Grail, anything to gain an advantage. And his technology was state of the art.
Yeah. And, well, I definitely think that the Area 51 thing to me is still a very a very strange thing, because I do kind of agree where it's like no one can kind of get in there. Like I don't know enough about it.
Close.
Like
you're within a few miles.
Yeah. So yeah, so
really...
I do agree. Like, I mean, now granted, they're not just gonna let granted, they're not just gonna let anyone just walk right in, just for any reason, because that's like in any military. There's certain places that are considered top secret and all this other stuff. There are top secret places. So I mean, I guess you have to.
But why after that crash, all of a sudden, not only did it go top secret, they didn't want you anywhere near it.
Yeah. I mean, hey, look.
That would be weird.
That's why I'm certainly not gonna argue you on it. I guess it clearly there's definitely some things to look into. My thing is, it's almost kind of like I get the fact that it's like, yeah, you know what, it is strange that I guess since then they've been like really trying to make it harder to even be around there. But what's your position though, as far as goes? Because my position is still is I think that they aliens or extraterrestrials, whatever they are, did come here thousands of years ago, in a blatant way, not just like, oh, they're like in the background and they're just like doing things behind the scenes. I'm talking they straight up landed here, as the Samaritan text talks about. They started civilizations. I mean, full blown out, not invasion, but they simply landed here. So what I'm saying is if they were that overt, if they were straight up blatantly coming down and doing what they did, I believe the reason why is because we had no way of defending ourselves or doing anything. We were in total shock and awe and considered them to be gods. In fact, I think they were some of the gods that are mentioned in Greek mythology and in the Bible in different ways, however you want to look at it and stuff. So what I'm saying is I find it strange that they were so overt and straight up built civilizations here, and yet now for thousands of years they're just hiding in the background. And I think the reason why they're hiding in the background is because we're too technologically advanced now. They can't just come right on in. I really think so. Because my question is, why don't they then? Why not?
I'm saying everybody always thinks like there's always got to be some invasion of aliens. But I'm saying
that wasn't an invasion.
I'm saying when the Anunnaki left, because remember, they made us to help as slaves to help mine gold.
Right.
Because they need that gold to fix their atmosphere from where they're from, their planet.
Right.
Nibiru, whatever.
And they also use it for the mental capacities and every other thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, they weren't this wasn't like their last stop. I mean, there's so many theories that us humans, we are alien. We are the alien. In many different kinds in us. We're like a hybrid. You know what I mean? Of not just Anunnaki, but of reptilian. And just remember that 80s movie or that show V?
Yeah.
It was when the lizard people.
That was cool. Yeah.
That's really basically a knockoff of reptilians, which
Draconian.
Majority of conspiracy theories or theories. Many people believe reptilians are many of the the royal families and are part of a lot of the elite groups, or Queen Elizabeth is a reptilian, and it goes into all these other stories and theories and how Princess Diana died. You can look up on all these things. I mean, there's a lot of information out there that look into it. I mean, but I don't always think it's always about worrying about an invasion of aliens always coming in. I think aliens, many of them just never left. Many of the aliens, they came us. We are the aliens. We're hybrids. Even the reptilian part of us from when we're born. When you see as a little fetus, or we're reptilian. You know what I mean? And that's where we get our fight or flight from. And that's the reptilian part of the brain. And then it goes on to many other, but we have we're a hybrid species of not just one type of alien, but actually many.
All right,
and that they live among us, and it's just you gotta it's kind of hard to explain. It's a lot.
Okay, so I get you. So all right, so basically, maybe the way I'm just explaining it is different from the way you're interpreting it. What I'm saying is that
unless you're going to go into the center of the earth, there's aliens also or beings that live in the center of the earth and other parts that we don't even we would it's a lot to delve in.
All right. Well, what I'm saying is that in other words, what I'm grasping from you is that you're saying that in other words, you're almost kind of saying everyone's afraid of an invasion or something like that. I'm not even saying an invasion per se because if you think about it, they didn't invade us, way back then. As far as goes the Anunnaki, and as far as goes and as far as goes human history, we don't know of any actual invasion, and no extraterrestrial invasion has ever happened that we have recorded as far as goes human history has acknowledged. So what I'm saying is that everyone's kind of afraid of, an invasion because that's what, movies do and stuff. Now, I mean,
Yeah.
it could happen if it were,
Oh yeah,
but what I'm saying is that my simple point is that just overtly, if they came here and made themselves known, it wasn't like they weren't trying to hide. A lot of people are constantly saying how, oh well, they're hiding amongst us and everything like that, and I'm like, but I just kind of find it. So if they are hiding amongst us, okay, that's fine too. I'm just saying, I just do think that maybe the reason why it's hard for us to know whether there actually are aliens or aren't aliens, especially if they are living amongst us, is because I find it interesting that they need to hide now, where before they didn't need to hide. That's what I kind of find interesting. Thanks for watching this segment of the full episode to be posted Sunday afternoon. Much more to be discussed in the next part, so give this video a like, leave your comments for us to reply to in future episodes, and stay notified by hitting the subscribe button.